Okay, do you have an intro for this?
No. Okay, welcome to podcast episode 4. I think. Or wait, is it 3?
Love the professionalism. I think
It's
it's number 3.
4! And I have a new guest, because fuck Max. Who are you?
Hello, everybody. My name is Rinen, your lovely fashion dolly. And I am a content creator just like you. Well, I'm not really a content creator. But yes, I am Rinen. I make videos on fashion, character design, and Pokemon. If you guys are anything interested in any of that, well, that's me. That's what I do.
Rinen is a good friend of mine, and she's also really good at fashion stuff, so we're gonna go ahead and look at fashion stuff about VTubers and the success of like designs and stuff. Because we got a prompt from a commenter about what the next episode should be, and it's how much VTuber model quality, concept, art, and rigging can influence VTubers' reach, success, and retention. So that's why I brought Rinen onto the pod so we can discuss fashion concept and especially rigging. And you do way more like marketable VTuber stuff on Twitter and stuff than I do. So I just feel like you're a better voice than I am for this.
The way that wow, I can't believe that we're lying today in the studio. I guess today is a day of falsehoods, a day of promises that are not real, because I'm not really that good at the Twitter game either. So.
Okay, well, so for the people that are just listening and not looking at the screen, we will be reading out like all the points, but there are visuals about like certain VTuber models on screen that you'll just have to like peek over to see to understand what we're talking about, okay? So let's talk a little bit about what sells a model. So without even looking at our criteria, I just want to hear your thoughts, Rinen, on what do you think is good for marketing?
I think the most important part is branding, a recognizable branding, whether it be colors, silhouette, concept. It is very important for you to be recognizable. You know, I don't want to hear about Ocean VTubers no more. I'm over it. Uh, like genuinely, the most important part is recognizability. Whether you want to play it through whatever means possible, people have to recognize you in some way, shape, or form. I think the worst part about being a VTuber is that we all have the same inspirations for the most part, and that does lead to very often having very similar styles. And listen, I am guilty of this too. I am not necessarily the most original looking VTuber, but hey, I still haven't quite found somebody who looks like me. So I think I'm good still.
Yeah, okay. Before we go any further, I do want to ask, or I do want to like break down the concept of branding because that's like a marketing term that a lot of just like normal laymen don't really come into contact with a lot, especially in the context of VTubing. So before we go any further, branding is basically you, your model, the content you put out. So it's visual and it's not auditory, but
think about it like a digital footprint.
Footprint.
What makes you you? Or if it's even better for you to understand in more of a normal setting, let's think about your preferences in clothing. What makes you you? Are you more of a sporty person? Are you more of a I don't know, goth person? That's kind of what branding is. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. It is the style of you. What makes you you. So in the case of the VTuber thing, it will be your model, your logo,
The colors.
If you make yeah,
the games you play.
If you make the games you play, your niche essentially. Even the way that you do things can also be part of branding. For example, if you're a video editor, your font that you use, the way that you cut stuff, there's a lot of things to think about branding, but the basics, at least for this podcast and what we're talking about, is the way that you look.
Yeah, yeah, because we can't really dive into content, but how you pilot your model is also another one. There's like people who got really popular just off of piloting their model, like Shy Lily. The main things, if you can think about any popular VTuber that has like really popped off of 1 or 2 videos of themselves, what aspect of that video made them pop off? So Shy Lily is rigging. She's very, very expressive. So that's one way you can brand yourself. That's one part of your brand. Maybe someone just has a really, really nice model and you followed them because they have a really nice model. That's part of their branding.
Sunny Explosion is actually an example of that. Sunny Explosion got
Yeah,
really popular out of the way that her model looked.
because it had shading.
No, yeah. Again, not to this. It sounds like we're discrediting them, but no, we're mostly just talking about visuals, right?
Yeah.
But Sunny Explosion got a huge amount of popularity just because of the way that her model was rigged and the way that she looked. So, really, branding can really be everything.
Yeah, branding is literally everything.
It's everything. Yeah.
Also, there's voices, accents are really eye-catching.
Ear-catching?
Ear-catching. So there's Grimmy, who is a horror VTuber. Her model is not really outstanding. It's a good model, but what really catches your attention is her accent. She has a very strong Southern American accent. And the same is true for, I don't know the cow's name, but there is a cow. Accent is really strong, so they market, they go, you know what, I'm gonna go full in cowboy, like Southern American branding. And it really works for them because in the VTuber market, sorry, I hit my mic, that stands out. That is like what makes you you and what makes you so different from everybody else. So you can be part of the 101 cat girls category, but if you have a really strong other focus, that can make you stand out as part of your branding.
And listen, I shouldn't really be encouraging this, but whatever. If you're a flaming homosexual like me, you can also make it part of your personality.
Gay accent.
Like, I mean, it's not really the accent. Can you tell that I'm a homosexual just because of my voice?
Yeah, really.
Wow.
You're so gay.
No, but yeah, I mean, listen. Who says that you can't make being gay part of your personality? You can do that too.
Yeah.
But genuinely, anything that makes you different can be a good thing. I wanted to bring up Shinri. Shinri got really popular at the time of his debut, literally just because his voice is really deep.
That is true. So. Yeah, having a very deep voice works. Same went with Fox, same went with Hex.
Yeah, exactly. Weaponize what God gave you. AKA, if you have ADHD and you want to market over that, weaponize it. Make it part of your thing. Like, after all, when it comes to a VTuber persona and when it comes to who you are on the internet, if you want to be an entertainer like me or like Liko, and
I'm not an entertainer.
But well,
you gotta be true to yourself.
Like you gotta. Not only do you gotta be true to yourself, but you gotta exaggerate, make it bigger, make it a performance. Imagine that you're in a theater. What would you do if you're in a theater? You can't just be like, "Hello, my name is." No, you're gonna be like, "Hello, my name is Todd." You know?
Yeah. You have to really. Well, you don't have to, but you should upplay. Like, I don't think I have a very strong difference between like recording me and like basic normal me. I only just like
you know what it is.
Be a little bit more cheerful. Huh?
No, I actually don't think it's that because I spend a lot of time with you. You know, I think it's actually that when you are on stream, you do give more of a.
Well, Max said I have YouTuber voice.
You do?
Yeah.
You do. But I think what makes you funny is the fact that you say the most unhinged things with the most serious tone.
Yeah, I have a flat delivery. I think it's funny. I think it adds to the flavor.
No, it is funny. It is funny. That is called dry comedy.
I love it.
And so, yeah, that's what makes you you. So if you really wanted to, you could lean into that.
If you have humor that you don't think other people find funny, there's probably a good amount of audience that will find it funny. You just have to clip and market yourself to that audience. Okay, we're getting a little bit too sidetracked. So, we're really talking about 4 things in particular, and I made slides, but how are we? I'm a little bit cutting it off, but we're okay. So, we're going to be looking at art style, design, rig, and overall uniqueness, and I made different bullet points to go along with it. So, to break it down, when we talk about art style, we're not talking about do you have like baby drawing, like is it all scribbles versus is it like a professional something you'd see at splash art in like Genshin or League of Legends? We're not really talking about that. We're talking about like, does it have a sellable level of art style? And what I describe as sellable is if you think about you're a artist at a artist alley in a anime convention or something, right? Or you're just walking through the booths of an artist alley. When you go to a booth, there's very different art styles and very different levels of art and detail, I should say. You know, there's like chibi art style, there's Pokemon art style, and then there's like really intricate, high rendered things. So when I say marketability or sellable art style, is it something that is aesthetically pleasing enough to make someone want to keep looking at you, or make someone want to spend money for like a pin or a poster or something like that if you're taking like walking down artist alley, right? Because you can have your favorite character in the world be drawn by 4 different artists in artist alley, but you're not going to buy the pin from 4 different artists. You're going to find which one you like best, which one suits your collection best, and then you're going to buy it, or you're going to look at it more. And that's pretty similar to what VTuber model essentially does as a marketable tool to get people to look at your stream or look at your content for longer. Do you have anything to add on to that?
Yeah, I would like to add something on that. I would say that when we're talking marketability, we're also not talking about you have to be pretty.
Yeah.
You know?
Look at me.
Talking about you have to be a 10-foot tall, big muscle man with huge tits and a dip voice and whatever.
Of course,
we're not
it's a
talking
band.
about that. It doesn't have that much to do with appearance. It has to do with appeal, and there is different levels of appeal. There is sex appeal. There is cute appeal. Even things that are ugly can be appealing. You know, but you have to know where is the limit on that, because there is a point in which something is just way too ugly for people to like.
Yeah.
You know? And I find that tends to happen when ugly is not intentional. Because, you know, we have the guy, which I don't remember his name. I think his name is Klimbo from the Socks Agency. Have you seen him?
No. What's Socks Agency?
Yeah, I need to.
That's a corporation? That's a what? Socks?
Sure that's the name.
Like shoes and socks?
I think that's the shorts. No. I'm talking about a VTuber company. Hold on.
Name Socks? What?
I'm
when did they come out?
Are
they a legit company? Like what?
Yeah, they're a legit company. Okay.
Guys, I've been out of the VTubing sphere for like a year and a half. What the hell is Socks Agency?
That's just the name.
Okay, I'll look at it later. Why? Is there... is it like a meme? Do they market ugly people?
Well, here's the thing. So this is a real VTuber. And he's actually not that...
Oh.
He's not unpopular. I'm not presuming to count his bills. I don't exactly know how popular he is, but I do remember he made quite a splash by looking like this. You know?
Does it move or is it a PNG?
No, it moves. It's a full model.
Oh.
Because here's the thing. The way that he marketed himself up to the up to his debut is that he was the male VTuber. You know, he was the male VTuber of the Socks Agency. Socks Agency did not have a male VTuber until him, right? And you sound disappointed.
No, it's nice.
You sound like the meme. Oh my god, is that me? No, it's nice. It's nice. You know.
I mean, it's not my humor, so I don't find it particularly interesting, but I guess it's someone's humor.
No, it's not my humor either. No, once again, not to bring gay everywhere I go, but like this is straight boy humor, right?
It is kind of straight boy humor.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is what I mean when ugly doesn't equal unappealing, right?
That is true. That is true. This is like ugly for the sake of a joke. And if people like the joke, they're going to keep watching you for it, not for your beauty standard.
Exactly. Like
That's a good
that's what
example.
uh yeah, that's what I mean. So long as ugly or unappealing is intentional, it will be appealing to somebody.
Oh, I forgot to, for the people who
Mhm.
aren't able to look at the screen right now, we showed a VTuber model that basically looks like a Wojak meme, where it's like a MS Paint
Uh-huh.
level doodle of a guy with an exaggerated Redditor looking
Do you
features.
guys
Okay,
do you guys
that's the best way I can describe it.
do you guys ever remember those like the trollololololololol memes?
Yeah, like yeah,
You guys know about that? Basically, imagine that as a VTuber.
yeah.
That's what it looks like, you know?
So you weren't missing
So
much.
yeah, I mean, no, you are missing a good example, but the point being, you don't have to be a super attractive big titty babe model
Yeah.
if that's not who you are. In fact, that will be much worse if that's not who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to make sure that everything about you is intentional.
Yeah. Okay, so that's particularly art style. The next category is design, and this is where we talk more about, is the
This is my
outfit,
area.
is the hair cohesive with the branding? So again, if you're doing a goth person, you wouldn't want to look like Rinen, right? You would want to have more gothic features. Then like, is there a visible
What do you
motif?
mean? Am I not goth?
Totally. Pastel pink goth.
Exactly. I am inventing a new season of goth.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Continue.
So when I say visible motif, I mean something like for example, I'm obviously a flower, a specific type of flower, so I have that flower evident in almost every part of my design. So besides the tendrils in the back of my head, I have the little cravat that has it, my hair is in the shape of it, my sleeves have it, like
That's
the
fair.
colors I use are what's present on the flower. And then we look over at Renen, and she has the same thing sort of going on, but it's really hard to see because the model's really cut off right now. But it's
Hold on,
Sakura,
let me
right?
zoom in. Let me zoom in. Hello.
Yeah. So there's a motif in almost every part of the design. You have the glasses, the hair in the
Including my
ears,
makeup look.
the makeup, the eyes, the little frills on the sleeves. Just like every part has a motif that is cohesive with the brand and identity of who you are and your character. And
Mhm.
it's also visually interesting to look at. So if you're doing a Zatsudan, or I guess a talking stream, right? Where you're just like the main focus, there's no game, there's no video playing, and people are just looking at you piloting your model, you want to make it interesting. Aesthetically pleasing is one thing, but make it interesting. And then the last part is the fashion overused? Or is it like an unfit trope for your brand? Or is it just too basic? Which is something that I think Rita can talk more about on.
Okay, let me make a distinction right here.
Okay.
There is a difference between fashion design and character design, right? As somebody who dabbles on both, fashion is very different than character.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because character design is sort of inspired by people who have personal style, as in like when you use clothes in character design, they're a tool of storytelling. They say something about you as a person. Like we're talking about Liko, for example. Liko is their face is feminine, but guess what? Their fashion is not. Their fashion is based on OG fashion, which is a lot more masculine, and it has it has a more of an androgynous connotation. What does this tell you? Well, this person is not straight. Definitely not.
No.
That's one. And the other thing is that there's a person who likes to be more gentleman-y, likes to be
Yeah.
more of a, you know, elegant, professional type of thing. Well, not really professional because that doesn't really professional, but you know what
I'm
I
not
mean. Like it's
professional.
grand. It's grand. And for example, in my case, what I wanted to do with my character, and I would say this is not necessarily divorced from wanting to do what you like, because a lot of what I have is what I like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but what I wanted to do is to look a bit of a fashion trendy girl. I wanted to look like a girl that you find off the street that you find kind of fashionable. But you're like, you know what? Maybe I will unironically wear drawing gloves as a fashion statement. Part of my design concept is the fact that I'm a fashion doll. So I I'm never really depicted in my drawings to really be wearing the same thing forever.
Yeah, you change outfits. Oh my god, my voice. What the fuck?
And apparently the clothes also come with a round of HRT. So I guess if you dress up as an OG fashion, you're gonna
OG?
also OG. you know
No, it is OG. I
OG.
just get it like a oh, never mind. Never
Oh,
mind.
well, whatever. The point is, what clothes have to do with character design is that they have to say something about the character in itself, whether it be you as a person, what you enjoy, or what would be best for your character. Shomel.
Oh shit, I forgot about lore. VTubers have lore. You don't have to have lore. I don't have lore, but a lot of VTubers have lore and that influences their design and model. Okay, yeah, that's a good thing to bring up. I completely forgot about that. Okay, the next part
Yeah.
we're going to talk about is rigging. And this is going to be something that's not really the emphasis of today, but it's something to make note of. Is the rigging stiff? Because when you're looking at a VTuber who just debuted, or if you're looking at a really high-end VTuber versus like someone who doesn't have a lot of money, the rigging is really what makes or breaks immersion with a character. So for example, my rigging is a lot more stiff than Rinen's rigging. And that's because I didn't really pay much attention to rigging because I knew the emphasis on my videos, the emphasis on my brand was not going to be me piloting my model. I'm not Shy Lily. I wasn't going to be Shy Lily. My content was commentary and educational stuff. So my model basically had no point being a Shy Lily level model. Whereas someone like Rinen, who I guess is the main part of her streams,
Yeah, like I stream a lot more than you, so therefore, to me, it was more important that the
yeah,
model looked good moving.
yeah. So the levels do matter, and also like obviously the better the rigging, the more expensive it's going to be. And if you're a new VTuber and you don't have a lot of money, it's not something you should really focus on getting. Honestly, if you're a new VTuber and you don't have a lot of money, just get a booth model or a customizable model, like a pre-made model.
Actually, to be honest, just do a PNG. If you're doing
Yeah.
videos, those are gonna do you far better. Do you know how much I actually use my model in my videos? Almost none. Almost none. I my PNG tends to perform better.
Mm.
So, you know, it is possible for you to literally just be what people define as a PNG tuber and do just fine. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people who are doing fine with PNG tubing. So don't spend money in this hobby that is a bit of a sinkhole because you're gonna be here for a while. So you might as well.
Okay. That is something good to note as a side note. I've talked about this extensively on previous videos and streams, and I'm sure Renen has as well. That is a side note to people who are just starting out as creators. But if you are dedicated to being a VTuber, let's talk more about the rig and art style and design, okay?
Okay, so let's go back and talk about rigging as part of the visual storytelling of things.
Yeah.
I will say this: if your model is pretty enough and appealing enough, the rigging won't quite matter. I'm talking Nijisanji in particular. Nijisanji has very, very stiff riggings at the beginning. And that's okay. That's fine. They tend to stand out a lot more because of their personality rather than because of their rigging. No worries.
The last part I wanted to talk about for rigging is if there's a specific thing that you do in your brand, if you have a toggle for it. So when I was thinking this, we have a couple of people who gave their models to me to like review in this, and I know Yam is does violin or cello or one of those instruments, and she plays it on stream and she makes it part of her content. So it's kind of important for her to then have a model that has the rig to be able to move the hand and be able to track that. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, if you don't need that, you don't have to.
I know a person. His name is Piranha something. I don't exactly remember his full name, but I know that he has Piranha on the name, and he's a musician, and he does a lot of music with his guitar. and he loves a lot of music streams. And so he literally has a guitar toggle that he uses whenever he's doing music streams.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to have personally. I don't use it right now because the toggle is broken and I don't have the money to fix it. But me personally, I like to give a lot of kisses. I'm a very affectionate person. I give a kiss to everybody who requests one, and every time I sign off, I do this. Mm. And that is the thing I like to do. I used to have a toggle that would literally blow a kiss every time I did it.
That's cute.
So, literally, it can be just minute things like that. Because those minute things, you know what they do? They add up to branding.
Yep, yep. Yeah, so that's a good cap on rigging, because again, that's not going to be like the main focus of just looking at
Mhm.
the examples we have today, because it's really hard to find rigging examples, but it is something to take note of. And then last, our category is uniqueness. And this is like overall uniqueness, art style, design,
Interpretation
rig.
one.
Does the silhouette stand out amongst other people? So, if you're a shark girl, you're gonna have a shark tail. And now you gotta think, am I gonna stand out if I put the silhouette next to Gargura? Does it look like I'm copying her? Or there's another shark girl, which I don't remember her name. Sharkai? I don't know her name. Their name.
I know who you're talking about. Uh-huh.
But they also have a shark tail. So now you're gonna be, okay, do I look like Galgura? Do I look like her? Or do I look like Shy Lily? Do I look like this? Like, you have to think, does your model look like it's unique to you? It's not copying allegations, right? It's not inspiration allegations. But, if you're in a lineup of a bunch of VTubers, you want to be recognizable. Like, my little tendrils, super recognizable. I don't think they work very well stream-wise because they get all over the screen, but overall, it's a recognizable aspect of my model.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing is the idea of your model overused? And the examples I give are bunny girl, cat girl, dog boy, vampire loli. These are things that you'll see 1,000,001 versions of. And they can all be different. They can all look different. But they're all under the same category. So if you want to be really unique to yourself, if you want to really be unique to the VTubing sphere, you gotta think outside the box. Like, I know fennec foxes are sort of been up and up. I know flower-related characters have been on the up and up. A lot of, as you said, like jellyfish and fish and other types of sea creatures have been really popular. But let's try think of things that maybe aren't in the norm or aren't super, there's not a super popular VTuber that someone can point at. Or like, oh, this is the clown VTuber. And anyone who's doing a clown thing will always be reminded of the one famous clown VTuber.
Yeah, I was thinking of Gabby's Battle when you said that with the clown VTuber.
I like Battle. No, I was thinking of Pomni though.
Well, I mean, do you know that they're having that?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking of it.
Please go vote for Gabby's Battle in the Tumblr Sexy Man.
Yeah.
In the Tumblr Sexy Man.
He is the Tumblr Sexy Man.
He is the Tumblr Sexy Man. Anyway, so.
But also, I also want to add on to that. You don't have to be a fantasy character. If you just want to be a dude, just a guy, you can do that. If you just want to be like a girl, just more anime version of yourself in real life, you can do that. You don't have to do high fantasy dog boy cat girl types things. They just are the more popular idea.
Can I add something onto that? So this is also not to say that you need to look for something super unique, as in like you need to be an enchilada VTuber or whatever.
Hell yeah.
You don't have to be hibiscus chocolate flower or something like that. It doesn't have to be. In fact, I think that the more complex, the more adjectives you add to your VTuber model, the worse it gets. Right. The more difficult it is for people to actually find you unique, because you know what's gonna happen when you do that? You're gonna make a Genshin character.
That's not the Genshin character.
And I'm being serious. Listen, as somebody who has played Genshin since it started, continues to play it, and has played other Hoyo games, that's what happens when you add too many concepts to a character. So honestly, the best thing you can do as a VTuber, just be a human with a profession.
That could work.
Genuinely, in this world of cat girls, flower people, bunny girls, and bunny boys, just being a normal ass dude can genuinely be an advantage to you. Just make sure that whatever you are is true to you. Now, if you ask me, I think that the concept of originality is a fallacy and a lie. It does not exist. It died several hundred years ago, and everybody's just repeating the same nachos over and over.
Now we have other slides. I wanted to try to zoom back into the art style aspect of it and talk a little bit about what I mean about sellable. So, if our models aren't completely in the way. So when I talk about sellable, again, it's not amount of art style, it's about, well, it is about art style, but it's not about like level of render detail. So I have 3 different design options. We have the really high detail model, which is this is Kaisei from Nijisanji JP. Really stunning, eye-catching model, very ikemen in your face. Everything is fleshed out. Like, this is a really, objectively, a really appealing model to look at. Something I would never get bored at looking at. That's a high-level detail model. It's also very expensive, and also not that as important if, depending on your content, you're not going to be the focus of the screen for the most part. And then in the middle, we have Galgura is, I think, the epitome of a medium detail model. She's cute, she has a little bit of rendering, but overall, it's a basic render of a model. But again, she was popular not because of her model and how it moved and how it looked, but because of who she was, her jokes, her ability to do humor, her engagement with chat. Like, she was popular for different aspects of her branding. So honestly, if she had a really high detail model, it would be nice to look at, but that wouldn't be why people would come to her stream, you know? Why was she so popular? And at the lower end, we have a Pikami level model, which is just like no rendering, very flat colors, chibi-esque. This is good enough.
The thing about Pikami is that Pikami fits this description of gremlin.
Yeah.
Because you look at it, it's like you expect this to come out of a comedy anime.
Yep.
You know? And Pikami was one of my inspirations, actually. I really enjoyed her personality, and I really enjoyed the way that she's just so naturally funny. And I wish I was that naturally funny, but I'm not. But I'm trying. So I am truly in the presence of a god because I love Pikami so much. And I wish she was still around.
Yeah. So you can see, like, obviously the model, if you're looking between her and Kaisei, very different art style. You can tell one took a lot more energy, but the person that Pikami was, the creator, the comedian Pikami was, is so much more greater than her model that it doesn't matter that it looked like that.
Move on to the
Yeah,
models.
let's take a look at what I mean by high detail models. I have these 2 examples. We have Kaisei from Nijisanji, and we have Kobo from Hollow
Kobo Kanaru.
IN. The art styles are fairly different, but when I talk about like high detail, high render, is if you look at the clothes, it's like very I don't know, shadows are there where there should be. You can tell what type of fabric they're using because of the render. And also, like, I one of the biggest selling points at the start was Kobo's hair. So immediately recognizable, so unique. And I think that's
so painful to draw.
So faithful to her, right? Like, that is such a good character design just because of how recognizable it is. You don't have to like it. You don't have to think it's beautiful or like the best design ever. But it's marketable. And that's something that you can really think about in like a high detail model.
So painful to draw. So painful to draw.
Yeah.
What actually I think marks the point of a high detail model. If any artist is listening to this and wanted to take notes of this, when you're getting to the point of high detail model is if you were to draw this multiple times, how long would it be before your hand starts to hurt? How long will it be before you start getting bored? You know? Because this model that I have used to be a lot more detailed than it is right now. And, you know, I did the test myself. I drew myself multiple times and see when I was feeling lazy, what did I remove? You know, what did I forget about? So if you want to strike that medium balance, feel out how it feels to draw it. And this is also very important for recognizability as well. High detail models, honestly, in my opinion, are a disadvantage because you are hard to draw. You People who are going to make fun out of you are not going to have that much of a fun time unless they are really dedicated to you, right? So this is good. This is great. Be very careful about it. Sure.
Yep. Then when we go into medium detail, again, these are still very nice looking models. Like Kuzaha has a very nice model, very basic clothing. But these people are not known for the high level of their model. They're known for their humor, they're known for their interactions, they're known for their clippability because they're entertainers. And so you don't have to focus too much on high detail models. Okay, we'll speed through them, sorry. And then for low detail models, again, Rinen talked a little bit about Chibidoki and how she had a really high-end, high-res model, but because of her humor and her actions on stream and what her branding was, she went down to the low-end Chibidoki looking fucked up eyes everywhere model, and that really added to the humor. And Pikami also was more of a gremlin, so it really added to her stream and was more truthful to her branding. So depending on which end of the scale, what's important, what's not in your content, focus on that level. And it's just, again, marketability. Can you sell merch with it? You can sell Pikami very easily. You can sell, what the fuck's his name? Kuzaha merch very easily, because they're basic looking designs. But it's marketable because you like the character. So now...
would you say that you are marketable?
Sorry, huh?
Would you say that you yourself, Licorice, are marketable?
As a design... Yes. I feel like I could work as a plushie. I feel like I could work as a keychain or like a standee. Yeah, I think so. Not with
what I feel
this art style, but yeah.
I feel like you would work as the best. Not necessarily as traditional merch, except for maybe a standee. I think you would stand out as a collectible doll.
Maybe. Could be.
Like your design does lend itself for that too. I don't think my design in particular is particularly marketable, but I would say that my design does plushify really well.
Okay, so now I wanted to move into the submitted designs, just so we can talk. I don't think rigging is going to be a big thing, because we only got a few submissions for rigging. But for the design, I wanted to really focus on marketability. Does it have a really strong concept? And is it, like, visually appealing enough to get people to stick to your... Stop yawning! Stick to your stream.
I'm not yawning, I opened my mouth!
Okay, so... let's go ahead and do that. So our first submission is from Lucarios, and we just have the mood board basically. I don't know what type of moth that is. Lamp moth is the first thing that came to my head, but I'm not sure if that is. I think this is a fairly easy model to recognize. Hypothetically, if you see this character on screen, what type of games or what type of content do you think they're going to be doing? Just based on what they look like.
Probably Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy?
That comes to mind. Yeah. Final Fantasy, RPGs, stuff like that.
Would they play like cottagecore stuff like farming sims or no? I could see farming.
Maybe the closest thing that I can think is maybe like visual novels that have to do with the forest type of thing.
Okay.
Or like for like not necessarily farming games, but more like sandbox, kind of like Minecraft, you know?
Okay, I see. So this is a note for the curious. Your model doesn't always have to match what game you're playing, doesn't always have to match every single stream you have, but we should sort of get a sense of what your brand is just based on your character. When I look at yours, and I don't know what your content is, I can definitely see you playing games like Final Fantasy or Skyrim or some very high-esque fantasy game. Maybe even Minecraft, just because of the coloring. But if you're playing something like Overwatch or Valorant or something, then there's a little bit of a disconnect between your branding and the games that you're choosing to play. And that could affect your reach and it could affect your marketability because people like to see a brand that is cohesive. But otherwise, I like the model. I like having the moth ears and I like the tail. I just think you're not going to be seeing a lot of the bottom half. So the top half really is where the interesting points and your eye needs to be directed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right now, or my face goes to my face goes to your crotch, and that is not a good thing when it comes to VTubers because what you want is the face.
Okay, let's move on. We have Yammy. We love Yammy. All of our friend Yam, Albat.
Well, your friend, because I don't.
Thank you for submitting your design. And I brought up the fact that Yam is a cellist, violinist. So it's important for her model to have the rig and toggle to be able to use the violin. So that's what I was bringing up. And I think it's really, really good. It's a really good part of her design that makes her stand out. Because, you're not going to see a lot of VTubers that have a model toggled for an instrument, especially one like that. So I think it's really cool. And then if we're talking about the uniqueness of the model, silhouette-wise, if it's all black, it's going to be a little bit hard to distinguish who this is compared to someone else. But I don't think that's the real focus of her content. Knowing Yam, her content is about commentary, how to brand yourself. Like, she knows what she's doing when it comes to branding. But her model herself, is not the focus of her content. So it doesn't need to be all cohesive with everything. So for specifically commentary, when you're not the focus of your content, you can look whatever you want to look like. I think that doesn't really affect your audience because your audience isn't coming for you as a model, it's coming for you as a content creator. So that's what I like about Yam, and she does it very, very well. I actually saw this on a stream. I was watching her stream VODs last night. She specifically chose to have the nose look like not human and look more bat-like.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't going to be like objectively pretty, It's just something different. But it's visually interesting to look at.
Is rare.
Like the same aspect goes for my eyes that blink on my face. The red ones, like they're not pretty, like they're not they're grotesque, right? It's a spider eyes that blink, but it's visually interesting to look at because it's non-human.
Colors are very important, honestly. Not only colors are communicate things in the psychological level, right? Red is passion. It can also mean blood. It can also mean hunger, right? Particularly yellow is characterized for a cheery attitude, cheery, bright, joyful. And the fact that she combined yellow with green combines this persona, which is very much who she is as a person, a sort of relaxed mentor character, a relaxed character who is positive, who is a grounding presence, and who will genuinely make you happy to be around, but is not super hyper. You know what I mean? And I think she really nailed that in that sense. The toggle is one of the coolest things that I have ever seen, and I think it's really cool when I saw it the first time. And really, we come back to the ring. What you said is just, it's really unique. It is the thing that not many VTuber has, because also this is very expensive to get.
Yeah.
So on that front, I think she markets well. I think she would be very good to market. But I think it would also be hard for her to sell merch, primarily just because of that silhouette, right? That's what we talk about. Not everybody's gonna be selling merch.
That is true. You don't have to hit every qualifying point. You can focus on others and not as much on others. All right, let's move on. This is Fuyu New Quest. I know what you're gonna say first off.
Can I start here, actually?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we come with the I don't want to say generic, most common type of VTuber that there is, right? Which is a maid VTuber. You see this everywhere, combined with any other aspect, right? In her case, the main thing that stands out here is the magic potions, right? This is interesting to me, at least, because this tells me something that this is some type of adventurer, right? This is some type of person. The type of content that I can imagine her from is either doing ASMR, but like, those ASMR things that are like kind of weirdish, like
Okay.
making potions to kill your enemies, stuff like that.
Okay.
You know that? That's the type of person that I am being imagine. She would sell merch like hotcakes.
Yeah, very marketable for a merch. Very marketable for merch.
The blue hair does a lot to make you stand out.
I know because she gave a little note about like her lore and who she is and her design and everything.
Mhm.
I want to see if you can guess it. Look carefully. What do you think she's really focused on? Why are you naked? Why are you naked? Your model is naked.
No. Hold on, censor that. What the hell? Why am I naked? Hello? What the hell happened?
Stop it! Don't come over here. Put your shirt on.
Please cut that.
Oh my god! I was harassed.
And we're back. Sorry about that. We had a little wardrobe malfunction here. A thread came loose, and I now have embarrassed myself to public TV. So that's lovely.
Public indecency on my stream.
So you wanted me to see what I can glance about her, right?
Yeah. Like, what do you think makes her different compared to the average maid-esque type of adventurer-looking model?
Honestly, I think the question mark about her head. I think. Am I honest to think that this may be an NPC? Oh my god!
Yeah.
You new quest. Oh god, she's an NPC.
She's an NPC. She's an NPC character.
Oh, I love that! I love that so much. Actually,
it's so cute. Like once it really clicks, and you're like, oh my god, this is the cutest design I've ever seen.
I know. I love that so much. You know what? This is where we come with the shtick, with the branding part of it.
Yeah.
Because now, a design that is relatively simple is made up incredibly just by branding alone.
Yep.
Because yes, this is an NPC. This can be recognized immediately. This is her thing. This is what she does.
Yeah. I think this is someone that has everything, like all the checkboxes. I think she has everything checked. Okay, now we have Melinda.
Ooh.
Yeah, again, another very strong visual. Like this is on, I guess, the high end of medium to high level detail in a model. The design is very eye-catching. I think it's unique, but I can already think of 2 other VTubers in HoloLive itself that I'm reminded of.
I think of an Argenti. That's
yeah.
the first thing I thought about.
Oh, I can say Argentine, but I'm thinking of Narissa, and I'm thinking of Blood Flame. What's her first name? No.
Oh, Elizabeth Rose Blood Flame.
Yeah. So those are the first 2 VTubers that come to my mind. It doesn't necessarily mean you're taking inspiration. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad sort of model, but it's a concept that has been done before. So you have to be careful with how you market yourself, because you don't want people to see you and then remember their Oshi from HoloLive and then be like, oh, you know what? I want to actually go watch my Oshi from HoloLive than watching you. So that's something you should be a little bit careful about. But when it comes to the overall vibe, I can see you playing a lot of, again, MMORPGs. I can see you doing Zatsudan streams. Hollow Knight, I can see Ori in the Forest, or whatever it's called.
Platformers.
Platform games, yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? This strikes me as saving the princess. The princess that's gonna save the other princess, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Yuri already.
Like, I could think Mario even fits this. Like, you could play Mario.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm thinking about Yuri, girl. I don't know what your sexual
Yuri?
orientation is. That doesn't. Yeah, Yuri. Because here's the thing. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it right now. It is important to understand the Fujoshis and Himejoshis do compromise a big part of fandom, right?
Mm.
And so you already have a potential audience for you,
You
which
already
you
got the
are.
women on you.
Yeah, you already got the woman on you.
Mm-hmm.
You are the princess who plays the prince, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is something that you can absolutely lean harder on if you want to market yourself like that.
Okay, let's move on to. I am gonna butcher the
Oh,
pronunciation Vias. I hope it's
yes.
Vias.
Oh,
But
this is pretty.
I know this person. She's originally a 3D VTuber, and
This
she just
definitely fits
recently
for
got
you.
her live 2D. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, she's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing because it fits
Wow.
her branding so well. I
Yeah, so
want
for
to see
those
an
who
anime
don't
about
know,
this girl.
Vias, again, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Her content is a lot of going out into the real world and sort of talking about the history of historical sites or something interesting about the town she visited, and she like puts her model, at least her 3D model, into the footage and makes it look like it's part of the reality. Her model is not the main focus of her content, but it adds a lot to the content that she does. I think it can keep an audience, and I also think if she wanted to do merch, this is such like a
You would tell.
Hatsune Miku-esque art style. You could definitely make merch out of it. A pin, a
You
standee. Yeah.
you can sell a stand. Even though the silhouette is really simple, the hat just does a lot to make it.
The hat does a lot, that I was gonna say, yeah. Yeah, okay, then let's move on from one Little Red Riding Hood to another Little Red Riding Hood. And I didn't mean to put them right next to each other. But you can notice
Okay,
that it's a theme.
Yeah, it's on theme. It's on theme.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this is from Mio. I have something that I think would be a joke or an inside meme in the fandom of, or the fans of this person. Is I'm seeing it's supposed to be an orange or like a Mekon motif. The colors I'm immediately associating is with carrots. So you can.
Right, it looks a little bit like carrots.
Yeah, there could be a joke there. You can like mess with your chat. I don't eat carrots. I like oranges, and everybody in the chats be like, "Haha, carrot girl." That is something that I could definitely see happening, and that if you lean into that sort of thing, you could pop off. Because I know someone who done that. Do you know Rima? Rima was supposed to be a fox. Yeah, she was supposed to be a fox, but everybody said her first model looked like a horse, and now she's just like totally assumed the role of a horse. I don't know if she canonly is a horse now, but she was originally like a fox wolf type character. So that is something you can absolutely play on to help community and help build your brand.
Yeah.
This would make a really easy and good cosplay though. I feel like if you get big enough, people would definitely cosplay you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a very easy to cosplay. So even the hair wouldn't even take that much to actually do. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay, we're gonna look at a few more. We don't have time to look at every single person. But next I want to talk about Mara. I had to censor the middle option because she's not wearing clothes. But immediately
I know this girl.
Yeah, we know Mara. You can sort of tell what she leans into. Do you think she has a low voice? No, she's a chibi. She's really short, so she's gonna have a high voice. If you look at her toggles, you can immediately tell she's a horny degen. And that works too.
She's a gremlin.
Yeah, she's a gremlin. You just from the model, like obviously I know who she is and what she does, but just from the model, that is very present in her marketing. So, again, if you're someone who doesn't know who this is and you're swiping through TikTok and you see this model, you're already going to have sort of an understanding of what the content's going to be about. And then you listen to the voice and you listen to the DJ and you go, okay, yeah, this is definitely matching with the model. And if you like that, you'll follow. And we have a treat for you. Are you ready to see it?
Yeah.
She has a foot toggle.
Ew.
She can.
I want to go home. I'm
We can
going
take
home.
off
You know what?
socks.
I was not paid enough for this.
We can. So that is part of her branding. It's a toggle that is unique to her, and she has cultivated a foot fetish loving audience, and that is branding. As weird as that sounds, that is branding. She is a foot fetish VTuber, lowly brat, degen horny person. And that, it sounds insane, but there is a huge market for that. And she's smart to invest in a gap in the market because I don't think there's a lot of foot rigs in VTubers.
Yeah, no, Mara's really good. Mara knows it, definitely knows what you're doing and what type of crowd she wants.
I also don't, pigtails are kind of an iffy thing because the media association is usually Hatsune Miku. But when I see these pigtails, I don't associate it with Hatsune Miku at all. Like, at all.
It's because they're shorter.
I think they're just wilder. There's no association. So I think she pulls it off very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
This model, the silhouette is very plain. I think it's clear that she's a human model and the focus is her boobs. That is very obviously intended.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's going to be any problem sexualizing yourself if that's what you're going to lean into. I think there's a really big market of not safe for work creators, lewd tubers as they're called, and I think you would fit right in because they have a humor and they are unafraid of sexualizing themselves. And I think if that's your vibe, you would fit really well with them. I'm sorry, the screenshot is so...
Hi, sweetheart.
I couldn't find your flat model, so I had to take a picture of your moving rig, and so that's why the quality is so bad. But I think this model is stunning. I like the key.
Excellent.
You can tell what her brand is. She's, purple, dreamy. I think that is very prevalent. The motifs are all there.
Can I tell you? She actually does have a rigging stick in particular, and that is her eyes. Do you see how her pupils are like what's it called?
Moon?
Her pupils are like full moons. When she moves to the sides, it either becomes a quarter moon. It becomes a quarter moon.
Oh, that's who this model is. I saw the rigging post a couple weeks ago. I didn't realize that was for her. That's cool.
Yeah, this is Nari.
We do have at least 3 more that I just don't think we have time. We have to cut it. I'm sorry, we've been going for like 3 hours. We have to cut it. So
it's been 3 hours.
yeah. We're gonna.
I'm so sorry.
I have homework for you guys. I want you to look at this. Either think in your head, make notes, or leave a comment on what your breakdown is. Again, don't talk about the bad things. I just want to know what you see works, what you think their content would be, just based on their model. And then, do you think it's a successful model? I don't want you to talk about the design and how bad it is or anything. I don't want any that. I just want you to see what are the strong points. So this is model 1. This is Mayaris. This is Miki. She's a fox. She usually has a tail, but she didn't have the tail in the model she sent me. I'm gonna leave it on screen for a little bit. Think, is it high detail, mid detail, low detail? Think about merch options. Think about what would work really well content-wise and brand-wise. What colors pop out to you? And then we'll go to our last one. This is Nia or Kenji. I don't know which one's your first name. Think about what really works. I think this is a very interesting silhouette because you're in a box. I'm just curious to know if what you see, maybe we think different things. So it'd be really interesting to see everybody's ideas. And also, as we wrap up, I just want to go back to the very beginning slide.
Hold on, let us get out of the way so they can see better.
Oh yeah. Oh, how do I move myself? I want you to really take all of these to inside. Understand them, feel why they would market really well or why they wouldn't market really well. And as you're moving into your VTuber design, or as you're you can peek in, it's fine. As you're moving into creating your brand, think about these things. Again, I didn't list color, but color is very important for your branding as well.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, is there anything else you want to mention?
I will say that above all else, and I'm gonna make myself bigger for this so you guys understand. Above all else, make sure you are doing what you want to do.
Yep.
At the end of the day, we are just other VTubers who may or may not be semi-successful. And I'm kidding. That sounds like I'm.
I'm successful,
That
I
sounds like I'm
think.
stroking myself. You are successful. I am. I'm doing okay, I guess. But keep in mind that these are just opinions. These are just opinions that are the opinion of one person.
Mm.
The opinion and ultimate opinion that matters is yours.
Mm.
So I'm gonna say, and we talked about it before. What it fits you. If it fits you, it will go well. So just keep that in mind and have fun with it.
Mm.
That's all.
If I go back to the studio, will we look crazy? Yep. Wham. This is my podcast. Get down.
Bitch. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm gonna be real size. This is my.
Okay, that's your
size,
actual size.
Well, actually, if I were to be right as you, it would be more like this. Closer to this.
You're so bottom heavy.
Oh,
Okay, that's all for now.
uh-huh.
Again, we're not trying to be critical. I think everybody has a chance of VTubing. Everybody's model is valid, and it suits you, then it suits you. If you want to make VTubing into a lucrative career, these are some things to note. I just don't do it because I'm lazy, and I don't really care that much, and I don't make money off of VTubing anyway, but that's a me problem, not a you problem. Anyways, that's all from us. I'm sorry we didn't get to talk in detail about every single model, but I think the homework part would be interesting if you do that. So, where can we find you, Rinen?
Okay, you can find me at Cassidy Rinen on YouTube, Twitch. Basically, whatever you want to find me, I will probably be there with that name. I'm not active everywhere. If you really want to see what I do, I think you should go to my YouTube. That's the thing that I focus the most. I do Pokemon stuff. And right now, I'm working on making my own gym leaders, making a video series off of that. And support the Holostars boys.
Good message.
Please support the Holostars boys. If you're not going to support me, support them, you know?
Okay, I'll leave all your links in the description and stuff in the pinned comment, so you can check him out later. And also, leave a comment on what you want us to talk about later in the next episode. Me and Max.
Well, maybe not me because I'm only a momentary guest, but you know.
I'll bring you on again for sure. Okay, goodbye. Wave. I don't know if you can wave. I can't wave. Goodbye.
Bye.